You tap perfectly matched cushion foundation onto your jawline. Initially seamless, as it dries, the pigment shifts, leaving a muddy orange line at your neck. That color shift is the result of a predictable chemical reaction between the foundation's pigments and the specific lipid profile of your skin. To solve this, we are moving past the trial and error of the makeup aisle and into a diagnostic protocol focused on color theory, precise undertone reading, and professional-grade skin prep. This approach treats the application as a scientific process, allowing you to stabilize the formula and stop the orange shift before it has a chance to develop. Every foundation formula on the market shares a universal baseline. Regardless of the brand, these shades are constructed from a primary orange base. As this diagram illustrates, depth is simply a matter of adding white or black to a core mixture of red and yellow. If you don't have orange, you don't have a skin tone base. The conflict arises when you apply this orange base to the biological canvas of olive skin, which contains high concentrations of underlying blue and green tones. Placing a warm, orange-based liquid over a cool blue-green surface creates a high-contrast reaction. On camera and in person, this often registers as a neon or muddy finish that never truly settles into the skin. Correcting an orange match requires manipulating the undertone chemistry of the liquid itself, rather than simply choosing a lighter or darker shade from the shelf. The first step in this diagnosis is establishing a strict testing environment. All swatches must be placed on the jawline and pulled down directly onto the neck. Avoid testing on the back of your hand or your wrist. These areas lack the face's specific oil production and exact skin tone, making them unreliable for a true chemical match. Once applied, the pigments react to both the ambient air and the natural oils on your face. This is the moment where oxidation begins. You must allow 5 minutes for the dry down. This wait time is mandatory to let the chemical reaction reach its final state before you judge the color. As 5 minutes pass, the wet pigment darkens and warms. This is the foundation's true state, the color that will persist throughout your day. Evaluating a cushion while it's still wet leads to inaccurate matches. Patience is the only way to read the actual chemical behavior of the product on your skin. If the dry down reveals a swatch that is too warm, the next step is active neutralization of the product's undertone. On a glass palette, mix a micro drop of blue pigment into your foundation. This targets the orange base, shifting the mass into a muted olive beige. This follows a core principle of color theory: blue neutralizes orange. This adjustment changes the undertone without altering the depth or the coverage of the makeup. This microscopic adjustment forces the foundation to harmonize with your complexion, allowing you to control the pigment rather than letting the manufacturer's default orange base dictate the match. Even with a neutralized shade, the oxidation process needs fuel to continue. Excess surface oils, heavy sunscreens, and rich creams act as accelerants that break the foundation down. Prepare the canvas by cleansing the skin and applying strictly lightweight, water-based hydration. This creates a hydrated surface that remains matte and non-greasy. Instead of swiping the foundation on, use a firm stamping motion to press the neutralized cushion into the skin, creating a physical bond with the prep layer. To lock the pigment in place, immediately apply a mica-free HD setting powder. This absorbs any ambient oils before they can trigger further color shifts. By following this sequence, you effectively starve the oxidation process, ensuring the pigment remains in its neutralized state from application until you remove it. Now we can review the completed application under clinical lighting to check the integrity of the match. The results show a complete absence of the orange line at the jaw. The transition between the face and the bare neck is now invisible. This proves that foundation is simply controlled orange, and olive skin requires strategic management of that color to achieve a believable result. Synchronizing this undertone neutralization with oil-starving prep removes the variables that typically cause midday makeup failure. Using an objective, diagnostic approach to color theory replaces guesswork with absolute control over your finish.